Hi. Welcome, welcome. It's been a minute since we've done this, like since last year,
I know.
which I still love saying, even though it's not that long ago.
So long.
Yeah, I know. It's good to be back. I've missed you. I've missed chatting.
Yes.
Cool, cool. Well, so we were talking a wee bit backstage about New Year's resolutions.
Mm-hmm.
Since we have a prompt that's a little bit New Year's resolution-y, do we want to each share one? I'm going to say a quick hi to the people that popped in.
Yeah.
Nico, sorry we missed you. Love you. We'll see you next time. Regina, I hope you're feeling well, friend. And getting on the mend. I feel like you are well on the way. Hope the poopies are well. Deidre, hi. I missed you. That's okay. I get it. I'm going to miss part of the first prompt because I am, as you can see, cooking for my husband. Thank you for stirring that here. About to work.
I thought you were giving him a treat.
I gave him a spatula. Go to work, sir. But yes, hello. We've missed you. Cool Gamer. Hey, friend. Hope you're well. Labyrinth, hi. We're back. Yay. We can't wait to hear stories. Just broke my iPad.
Oh, no.
No. That's the worst. I am struggling with shingles. No joke. So kind of wishing I could do this naked, but Laura said no. And so did you.
Asked me.
I know.
So
did YouTube terms of service. So we were like, we're just not going to do that today. Fun as it would be. Hi, Christian. Good to see you. Long time no see. Okie doke. Hi, Laura. How are you doing? This is for you, my friend.
I'm doing good.
Good.
I am in the middle of a walking challenge to get a medal for a virtual walkthrough of the town of Sleepy Hollow.
Oh, that's cool.
So it has the map, and you get digital postcards when you hit certain locations along the route. So I have already gotten 4 postcards.
Is this like Fitbit kind of? Like how Fitbit used to have the challenges and stuff? Is it similar?
I guess. It's through Pacer. So they have different maps of different locations. So right now I'm doing Sleepy Hollow, and then I'll do the Pendle Witch Trail, and then I'll try and do Dracula Road.
Nice. So, okay, cool.
This one is the shortest one. So it's only 29 kilometers, so 18 miles in a week.
That's a lot of miles, though.
I'm ahead of schedule.
What's your average? Like, what are you hitting per day?
A 5K. So
that's
3 miles.
Great. That's wonderful. I'm digging it. Okay, so that's one of the resolutions, moving more.
Yes.
Okay, so that's the resolution.
It wasn't a resolution. It became one this last week.
Oh, that's amazing. Like someone just challenged and you were like, yeah, why not? I'm doing it.
No, I did the 10K and half marathon, and I was like, I actually enjoy this. I can keep going. So I looked them up myself and started doing it.
Love it. Okay, you're killing it. All right, husband, you're dropping the ball and you're stirring. So that's okay. Kind of doing our laundry, so it's like I can't ask you to do everything,
But yes, Labyrinth, I put the postcards on Instagram.
Yay. Okay, let me get back here. Where did I lose people? Oh, yeah, awful. Yes, agree. Again, naked would be awesome. It would be a different kind of show. Although I feel like still in the vein, I don't know, depending on like who's writing
the hot tub live stream.
One of Katie's like stories. Remember how spicy those got? Or Deidre, you can write some steamy stories. So speak of the devil. Did we just
I was about to message you the link of like here's the live stream.
Come play. Join us if you want. Anyone who wants to join, let us know. You can come up here, hang out, write some fiction with us. So Laura wrote 2 prompts. At this point, I feel like my New Year's resolution is just to get over the shingles.
Ambitious.
Well, no, we have some debt payoff goals. Yeah, I do. So yeah, we're kind of doing a debt, like aggressive debt pay down situation. Well, so that's a resolution. I know, right? Totally summoned her. Hugs, thank you. Except it hurts to hug.
Oh no!
Let's not save it. Virtual hug, because that's about all I can handle. Okay, sweet. So, Laura, do you want to hit us with the prompt?
Hi, Jess.
Oh, who came? Hi,
Jess
Jess.
Lynn.
How are you, Jess? Your comment made my whole day today. Thank you for that. Love you to bits. Yes. Well, the good news is the rash is gone. It's the burning fiery flames of hell burn that is remaining. And it's weird. It's like a tingle first, like you're being electrocuted, like your legs have fallen asleep, that tingly feeling. It's that. And then your skin's on fire, and then you wish it would all just fall off. So, you know. Oh, good. Thank you. Made my day. So anyway, new year, new me. Okay, read it to us in a dramatic fashion.
After being dumped, I made some drastic New Year resolutions. The results are unexpected and hot.
Oh, I like the and hot.
Yes.
Okay, and hot. All right, let's see. You were summoned. Well, good. Well, we love YouTube for that when it does it like it's supposed to. So, new year, new me. After being dumped, I make some drastic New Year's resolutions. The results are unexpected and hot. I just got an idea for this, so I'm actually gonna write a little bit whilst cooking. Let's see if I can finish it.
Woohoo.
Okay, what is our timer gonna look like, Laura? What do you want time-wise? What do you want on the board?
What does the chat want time-wise?
Yeah. What does everybody out there want? And then we're gonna do first popular. I'm gonna find don't you have you have a Roy timer.
No, I don't.
You don't? I thought you had
I know. I need to make one.
Did you make doggy timers for other people and then didn't make one for Roy?
I made the pet timer of AuthorTube.
Oh, okay. Well, let's do that one.
It only goes up to 20 minutes.
Oh, okay. All right. So, oh, I love this one. This is pretty. All right. So what are we wanting, people? What is it going to be? Oh, I've got a 35, 30. Okay, let's do a longer one. Do you want to do 35? We'll give Katie a little time to prepare. Or do you want to do 40? What do we want? Because I'm picking this beautiful 45-minute one that's very, wintry. Outdoors. You probably don't even remember making this one. You make so many good times.
Let's do 40.
40? Okay, let me get it on the board. A loop. And let me shorten the time. I'm so used to having my mouse. Roy, what's going on, my friend? Why are you so sad? Oh, is it just mom's not paying attention?
It's I have to take him outside real quick.
Okay. Thus the 40.
Yeah. So
all
5
right,
minutes to go outside in the cold, and then I'll come back and write.
We are gonna count it down. It is at 40 minutes. Here we go. Can't wait to hear some stories on the other side. Go pee, Roy. We've missed you, friend. We've missed all of you. I've missed everybody here, actually. Yes, pee break. Okay, see you on the other side. Dun 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 dun. Okay, Laura Nettles.
I'm totally not done.
You're not done. I mean, I can talk a little bit. I wrote. I finished. It's really short. It's like 350.
Ooh, let me finish this paragraph.
Go for it. I'll tell everybody, mute me, and I'll talk about what I'm trying to do tonight. So my goal is I'm taking a page out of like old school Laura book, where I'm going to try tonight to write all of my stories in like 500 words or less. Like I want to tell a whole story. It's really hard. And I don't know that I landed the plane, but we're gonna do it and see if it's fun. So I was talking to Sui about garlic powder. Garlic powder. It probably isn't some. Oh yeah, you got something. Okay, Labyrinth, you know what to do. I'm just gonna tell everybody real quick. So if you want to submit, just turn it into Nettles animation, or wait a minute, I have a thing for this. Yes, here. To Nettles animation or me at Insta, and we will read it for you live. This is the prompt we're writing to. New year, new me. After being dumped, I make some drastic New Year resolutions. The results are unexpected and hot. I definitely took this to heart. Mine is dirty, dirty, dirty. Kind of finished mine. It went a little different than I thought. Okay, I'm kind of excited. I can't wait. Microfiction. Yes, it's all about the microfiction tonight. I'm going to try it. We're going to see. Yes, so the thing about this garlic powder is the burn point, and it's easier to cook with when you can't watch it closely. So if you have minced garlic, it burns so easily. I got to watch it like a hawk. Mine is kind of goofy for sure. Mine is a little goofy, but really sexual. Because again, Laura put the word hot in it. So, and this is after dark. So,
All right, finished. Enough.
Okay, so Laura's finished. Let me skedaddle over to Insta and see what we got. What we got. Oh, stop sharing. Totally me. We got one from Katie. Perfect. Perfect. Ooh, steamy. I don't know if it's actually steamy. I just kind of hope. First dibs to either of you. You want to read mine? It doesn't matter. I'm going to let, yes. Okay. You got some steam. All right. So do you want to read Katie or Labyrinth?
I'll read Katie.
Okay. I'll forward it over and I will read Labyrinth. I have forgotten how to do everything, Laura. Okay. Laura. Man, I send Ricky a lot of dog videos. Yeah, you all. Oh, and Deidre sent one. Yay! Okay, good. So let's see. So let's think about this. If we have Deidre and I have Labyrinth and mine, would one of these go first? Do you want me to read one of these first, and then you can do in the middle with Katie and you? Does that work?
Yeah.
All right. So I am going to start with Labyrinth. Get ready. It's opening.
I'm buckled.
Oh, Labyrinth. You know I am old. I'm going to have to make this very, very big.
Katie's was already big.
I know. Bless her heart. Bless her heart. She remembered. I am old. Okay, we're just going to put glasses on. That's what we're going to. Wait, I have a whole screen over here. Hold.
You could scroll Zoom. Like, control scroll.
I thought so, but it's like Google Doc, and it's not doing that. And I'm like, I don't know how to work Google Doc on me Mac. Okay. Perfect. There we go. Now that's better on my giant screen. Okay. The year's college reunion is in 2 weeks, and like all previous years, I won't have a date, and they will gloat about perfect lives. Well, I've turned the tables this time. I headed to see a surgeon to make me look like, well, not me, but still me. I mean, I want their jaws to drop to the ground and stay there. When I arrived the day of the consultation, I knew surgery would be involved. I just didn't understand how it would be administered. The place is strange, looking more like a dungeon than a doctor's office, and no waiting room. Who does that? After I explained to the doctor what I wanted, he asked me to wait there while he went behind an old-looking mahogany heavy door. I got this strange feeling that this is a mistake. I made a big mistake. When he came back about an hour and a half later with this bubbling, weirdly green concoction, explaining I must drink it while it's still bubbling or it won't work the way I want it to, I'm not sure how I even wanted it to work since I did not know what the hell it was. He won't tell me and was insistent I drink up now, even jumping into my lap, trying to pry my mouth open to pour it down my throat as I'm resisting. He got half of it down on me before I got him off of me and ran for it. Once I got home, thinking I just dreamt it, I went to bed and I put it out of my mind. Nothing happened over the next week, till the day of the reunion. I didn't look in the mirror before I left. That was a mistake. I mean, I liked the ladies who seemed to like me tonight. I did think it was weird, though, since they'd never given me the time of day back in college. It wasn't until I went into the boys' bathroom that I realized something happened. When I looked into the mirror and found this really hot guy, one of those fairy tales staring back at me kind of guys, then I spotted over my shoulder some very jealous-looking gentlemen who looked as though they still want to dunk me in the toilet. I glanced their way, raising an eyebrow, and no sooner had their demeanor changed, and they were out the door so fast it looked like Three Stooges in live living color as their faces turned a strangely gray-white color, almost as if they were afraid of something. Being turned away from the mirror, I hadn't realized that my face had contorted into something that looked like it's out of a scary movie, like Phantom of the Opera. After about 15 minutes, my face returns to its former self. Moral of the story? Don't accept strange smoking drinks from a weird scientist. And also, just don't go to reunions in general. You spent those years trying to get out. Don't go back. It's a trap. Every time I hear it's a trap, I think of Star Wars.
Admiral Akbar.
I know I shouldn't, but I do. Yeah, okay, way to go.
Nice,
Loved
nice.
it. We're off to a good start. All right, Laura.
Shall I get mine out of the
I think so.
Okay. This did not go where I expected it to go at all.
Ooh, okay.
Okay. With a flourish, I signed the contract. The wet ink glistens in the light, barely seeped into the high-quality fibers of the paper document when the changes take hold. Pain engulfs me. Darren will wish he'd never dumped me. My ribs twitch and shift. That bastard will see what he gave up. Pounds of flesh are reorganized, moved to whatever I had envisioned as my best self. This will be worth every second of that gambling witch's debts I had to pay off. Magic sparking under my skin fades, leaving me breathless and covered in sweat. The male witch wordlessly turns me around to an ornate full-length mirror. Well, that's new, I say. I'm staring at myself, yet I'm not quite human anymore. Apparently, my image of busty and thin me in my 20s morphed with my D&D succubus persona. A whip-thin demon tail swipes along the floor at my feet before I realize I can control it and raise it to eye level. My resplendent leather wings are gorgeous and full and shimmer with the ability to be hidden from sight at just a wish. Pointed ears peek through my auburn hair that has more waves than frizz now. Lips twitch with a full-on grin as I realize this is the new me. I'm drop-dead gorgeous. A hunger builds in my gut. A need I realized was for more than food. Something more pleasurable. Something Darren couldn't completely fulfill, even on his best nights, if I'm truly honest. And I deserve the best, don't I? I mean, I had hoped I did before the ritual, but now I knew I could reciprocate a straight man's deepest desires and open his eyes to even more. Where's the nearest nightclub? I asked the witch. And I require a change of clothes that will fit. He clears his throat, eyes wide, still on my now flawless skin, observing his handiwork. Any particular apparel in mind? Make it sexy. Black and leather that peeks out from under a little bodycon dress. Use your imagination. I know you've seen your fair share of debaucherous get-up with those bills I paid off. He clears his throat. Right, I'll think of something. At his nod, I strip out of my old stuff. With a snap, Leather straps and metal buckles slither up my skin, securing satin in place. It hugs every new curve and drapes under my cleavage sinfully. I will find my new man tonight, or at least one to hold me over until I find the one who will fulfill my every desire.
Laura, I loved it. I was not ready. Like, I didn't have succubus on my bingo card.
Yeah.
New Year, New Succubus. And it sounds like was it Darren? Was that his name?
Yeah.
I mean, it sounds like Darren was about to get the ride of his life.
No.
Well, damn, DJ says. We're not ready. Yes, the black leather. Yes, roasted. See? Okay, people dug it. People dug it. I wasn't ready. It was good. Okay, so Gwenna. Yes. Gwenna popped in while we were writing. Hi, friend. Hi, friend. Okay, let me read Deidre. Are we ready?
I am braced.
Braced.
For intensity.
The bass pounds in my chest as I sway my hips on the dance floor. 4 glasses of champagne buzz through my veins, loosening my limbs and dulling my senses. I scan the crowd, my gaze lingering on strangers. Time for a fresh start, a clean slate. Tonight, I'm ready to wipe the past year from my memory in a tangle of sweaty limbs and lustful cries. My gaze snags on a familiar face across the room. Jason, my ex. Of course he'd drag his ass here. His arm is draped around his bitch of a new girlfriend. They're made for each other, 2 peas in a narcissistic pod. I tear my gaze away, downing the rest of my champagne. Our breakup still stings, but tonight is about moving on, starting over. I weave through the crowd, relishing the brush of bodies against me. The weight of hungry stares follow me, fueling my confidence. I'm ready to pick my next mistake. A strong hand catches my elbow as I trip in my heels. I crash into a concrete wall of abs, warm hands steadying my hips. I swallow, a thrill of tingles shoot down my spine. Whoa there. His deep voice rumbles through me. Fuck, I must be drunk, as even his voice is intoxicating. I tilt my head back, trailing my gaze up his crisp suit and sharp jawline to meet smoldering eyes. Lust slams into me, wiping all my thoughts from my mind, but one. You'll do. I surge forward, claiming his lips in a searing kiss. He groans, pulling me flush against him, and kisses me back with a hunger to match my own. His hands roam my body, squeezing and stroking, lighting me on fire. I arch into him, twining my arms around his neck to deepen our kiss. He shoves me against the wall, caging me in, and hitches my leg around his hip. I moan into his mouth as his hand slides up my inner thigh. Every inch of me burns for his touch, aching to erase the memory of Jason. I had no idea the job came with such delicious benefits, the man says against my lips, pushing me back into reality. I wrench away with a gasp, blinking at the man pinning me to the wall, desire etched into his angular features. Fuck, shit, fuck. Mr. Archwell? I breathe. My new boss cocks a brow. A predatory gleam enters his gaze as a smirk tugs at his lips. Miss Brown, what a pleasure to see you out of the office. I swallow hard, heat flooding my cheeks. What have I done? My boss, my extremely attractive yet completely inappropriate boss, saw me at my most vulnerable. I threw myself at him like some sex-crazed lunatic, all because of a few too many glasses of champagne and the urge to forget my pathetic ex. I should go. I duck under his arm, stumbling away on wobbly heels, but he catches my wrist, jerking me to stop. My eyes drop to the floor, unable to meet his gaze. There's no need to run off. His voice drops an octave, a silky purr that strokes down my spine. The night's still young, Miss Brown. A shiver races through me, a dare to glance up, and wish I hadn't. Raw hunger darkens his eyes, sending a bolt of answering heat straight to my core. I moisten my lips, struggling to find my voice. This was a mistake. It won't happen again. Will it not? He takes a step closer, crowding me against the wall once more, traps my chin between his thumb and forefinger, tilting my head up at silent command. Are you certain about that? No. God, no. I want nothing more than to drown in his kiss again, to let go of my inhibitions and give in to desire. But he's my boss. I could lose my job, my reputation, everything I've worked for. I can't risk it no matter how badly I ache for his touch. I place my hands against his chest and push with all my might. He doesn't budge an inch. I glare up at him, willing strength into my voice. Let me go. His eyes gleam with challenge, but after a long moment, he releases me. I stumble away, grabbing my purse from the table and rushing toward the exit on shaky legs. I would, but what type of impression would it be if the first task I started with an employee I didn't finish?
Dang it, DJ!
Naughty, but I loved it.
That's so good.
So good. Okay, great reveal. Wowza, wowza, wowza. Hey, Joanne, welcome. Wowza, wowza, wowza. Okay, so I forgot to mention this. If you are sharing stories tonight and you happen to actually write romance and you have just released one, like Deidre, this would be a good time to plug it in case somebody was wanting to read your book and plug themselves. So, alrighty. I'm gonna have to take my blouse off. I mean, my jacket, not my blouse. That would be too much. But my jacket for sure. Okay.
I love these.
Okay.
I was all ready. You're killing me with the plot twist. I screeched.
Were any of us ready?
Wait, what?
I'm just like, yeah. Yes, Gwenna. Yes. I just have to throw this off. Yes. That was something.
Oh, so good.
Yeah.
Not the blouse, the scandal.
I know, right? Ricky came through and was dropping off my laundry and just like looked. That was the only time I broke in that story was when I looked up at him and he was like, and I'm like, just sit, you'll like it. Promise. Probably the most action he'll see tonight for sure. Okay, moving right along. You did have a release January 2nd. Where did it go? Drop it. Drop that link. Do it. Okay, so who is it? Are we ready for Katie?
Katie.
Speaking of spicy.
All right, here we go.
Okay.
Buckle up, Buttercup. You did say you wanted to drop some weight in the new year, Maria says, gazing at me with raised brows over the rim of her wine glass. I didn't mean my boyfriend, I hiss, but her jokes cuts into my pity party, and I start to snort to spite myself. Maria waves her hand. Details, darling. She downs the rest of her red and gestures to the freshly opened bottle on the table between us. A top-up? I barely finished my first glass, so I shake my head. This restaurant is fancier than my budget allows, and even though Maria would skim me alive if I tried to even cut the bill in half, I can't help but shift uncomfortably. Try to make myself smaller. If no one looks at me, they can't see how out of place I am, how much I'd rather be curled up on my couch and eating double chocolate chunk ice cream. Ellie, I didn't mean to alarm you. Oh, I don't mean to alarm you. Immediately, the hair on the back of my neck rises. What a thing to say when you don't want to alarm someone. I crush the edge of the tablecloth in my fist. Don't look to your left, Maria says, her dark eyes sliding to mine. A warning burns in the depths of her warm brown. I look left. Fuck. I duck into the seat next to me, attempted to hide under the table. Reed Weston has been seated about 3 tables to the left, and he isn't alone, but rather with a bombshell blonde who is most likely in Maria's line of work, Nepo baby with some sort of art director and model side gig. We have to leave, I say into the leg at the table, pressing my forehead against it. A headache throbs in my temples. Seeing my ex is truly the shitty cherry on top of this steaming pile of dog shit day. Yelled at by my boss because I didn't do his work on top of mine. The window in my car frozen shut, so I had to open my door at the pharmacy and embarrass myself in front of the pharmacist. And now, and the book I was reading and enjoying had the dreaded accidental pregnancy trope. Ellie, please sit up. I peek through the cloth to see Maria leaning down to gaze at me. She isn't smiling, but I can see a hint of amusement in her eyes. She has a plan, and I doubt I'm going to like it. I really do. Maria and I have been best friends for so much of our lives, it's hard to recall a time when we weren't attached at the hip. Sure, when I went to college, we drifted, but Maria always called on Saturday mornings to chat and gather up the latest scoops on gossip, even if the gossip was about people she didn't know. Maria is the reason I moved to this city and got my job and met Reed. Oh, fuck. Reed. Ellie. Maria's fingertip taps my chin and slowly I straighten. I shouldn't be embarrassed for literally driving away from the sight, for diving away at the sight of my ex, but I'm not. Maria, despite her chic fabulousness and sometimes arrogant persona, she's never made me feel embarrassed about my weight, my likes, my dislikes, my taste in movies, my fashion sense. But she does always shock me. With graceful and practiced ease, she slides into the chair next to mine, as opposed to sitting across from me. Do you trust me? She asks, leaning in close. I smell the rosy amber scent of the perfume I bought her for her birthday last year. My mouth opens and closes. Apparently, I've been struck mute. She grins and takes my guppy impression as a yes. She leans over the table and picks up the wine bottle, pouring me a few more splashes. She leans her chin onto her palm and smiles at me, the arrogant smirk softening into a soft and sweet, toothless smile. Her lips are cherry red, pursed ever so slightly. She tried to teach me how to do it when I was seducing Reed, but I never got the hang of it. Tuck my hair behind my ear, she whispers, fluttering her lashes. Her free hand drifts over mine, and her fingertips tap against the top of my hand. Then her fingers curl, and her nails gently caress around against my wrist and forearm. I swallow. What are we doing? I ask as I reach out and tuck one of her stubborn black curls back from her cheek. My fingertips curving against the shell of her ear, the diamond piercing she got when she was 16. Making him jealous, Maria says. He won't even notice me here, I grumble, dropping my hand and taking a sip of my wine to take a surreptitious glance at Reed. Maria's thumb brushes along my lower lip and the corner of my mouth. She looks at where a drop of wine sits on the pad for a second before her tongue darts out and catches the remains of the red. Oh, Ellie, she purrs, and suddenly I'm very hot, sweating in my sweater and jeans. For another reason. He already has. He must have noticed you, I say, and she shakes her head, curl falling free again. I stubbornly push it back again, and she looks up from under her lashes. You are the most beautiful woman in the room, I whisper. Maria's gaze never wavers from mine. Warm pink spreads across her nose, lighter than the blush on her high cheekbones. Are you flirting with me, Ellie dear? Her mouth curls sensuously around my name, and my heart slams against my ribs. I was taught by the best. Don't stop, she breathes, her gaze finally dropping to my mouth. Never stop. You're muted.
I said shit. Hey. Did it. That was hot. That was hot. There was some, everybody's feeling a little steamy. Okay. Was it me? Is this me?
Nope.
Oh, we got one more?
Oh. I thought you meant it was you just getting hot.
Oh, no. Okay. Okay, I'm glad I'm not the only one. We all hot. That was good. Okay, let's throw some comments up because that was this one. Yes. And then there was lots of screeching. Sighs. Yep. Yep, get it. She's doomed. Don't ever stop. I mean, you know. Yeah. Okay. Are we ready? I'll read one and then we're on our last why can't I think of words? Prompt.
Yes.
Great. Words, not important here. Okay. New year, new me. When he left, all I could seem to focus on was what it was about me that wasn't enough. The truth was, the list got too long to wrap my brain around, but one thing was for sure. I'd been out of the game too long. The moment I got on the apps and opened the grid, more than half the torsos staring back at me were 6 and 8 packs. I was more of a snack pack. And the action I got from the grids basically validated my belief that my days of hot one-night stands with randos may be well behind me. And what better way to get over someone than to run a train behind someone else? But Xander and I had been together for more than 20 years, back when grids were personals ads and online chat forums. Now, without him, I wasn't sure what was the best way to forget about his touch what was the best way to forget about what his touch felt like on my skin, or the tingling feeling I had every time he kissed the crook of my neck, or the way he smelled. God, he always smelled so good. Just as I was beginning to think I would never sodomize another human being again, bloop, the sound of an incoming message. "Hey, Daddy, want to play?" asked a faceless hunk from about 2,350 feet away. He must live in my building. Sure that my fully clothed photos, one of which had me in Mickey Mouse ears at gay days, weren't ringing his chimes, I figured maybe he'd clicked on my profile by mistake. Why would a 23-year-old Adonis want my old raggedy ass? I haven't touched my violin in years, but sure, what piece were you thinking of playing? I asked, hoping the quip would weed out any ill intentions. That's a shame, because I can do things to your bow that would really surprise you, for a price. Huh. I didn't have hook up with a sex worker on my bingo card, but New Year, you knew me. Do you accept Venmo? 350 euros. And also respect sex workers. Sex workers work too.
So good! So good!
That was fun. I like that.
I love how all of our unexpected directions were different from each other.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. But I feel like there was a lot of steam, you know? Everybody was feeling this. Everybody, I am definitely in a steamy mood. We're all feeling steamy. And I even did a quick change during Katie Ann's in the middle.
You did.
Ducked off stage and was like, is that what my hair looks like? Okay. So, Laura, are we ready for number 2?
I shall bring up the second prompt. Wind whips around the corners of the small cabin. Temperatures plummet outside. Too bad we must huddle for warmth and survival more than kindling sparks.
Feel like we're going to get some more heat. So yeah, this, we needed some steam. Okay, so I love it. We got, okay, so 2 people, they're in a cabin, we're surviving, there's more than sparks, like, here we go. How much time do we need for this? Throw out some numbers. What are we feeling on writing time? Because this is exactly what I was thinking. Could be dangerous. And for fun, I may send Laura the steamiest one to read, because I always love when read. No, I'm just kidding. 35 to 40 again? Yeah, I think we should do a longer one and see what. So you want to do 40, 45? What do we want? What sounds?
Should we do 40 again?
Sure. Let me get it back on the clock.
This time I don't have to go outside.
I know. You're going to get a full 40 minutes. Okay, I got a lot to fit into a short story. What is micro? Is it technically 500 or less? That's hard. 1,000 or less?
Or is it 250? I'm not sure.
I'm not monetized, so DEFCON 1. Like, go for it. And if I ever do get monetized, they'll make me not put ads on it or something. So I'm sure it's fine.
I just got my first step of monetization done.
Congratulations!
So I got my first ever super chat last night.
Oh, cool. I love it.
It was Eva.
Oh, I love Eva.
Yeah.
Wonderful. She's such a good egg. Okay.
Yeah.
Lots of, yes. Say less. Wait, is it the other way or am I wrong? Is it like 5? higher? I thought the lower was, I don't know.
I'm not sure.
It's not that kind of show. I'm like, I don't know military stuff. I don't even know why I went there.
This is how off I am. I thought it was Depth Con, not Def Con.
Oh, maybe it is. Maybe I'm completely wrong.
I think I'm wrong.
I don't know. I may Google that on a break. You deserve it, Laura. Yes, you do, love. Okay, I don't know. Someone will tell us. I'm not a military person. I'm married, so I haven't slept with one in a long time. We should move on. Okay, I'm 250 to 500 words.
Flash is less than 1,000.
Yes, Flash is less than 1,000. Okay, I can do that. I think I can make this happen in 1,000 words or less. That's my challenge. All short, like my husband. Okay.
Or you could do it in exactly 100 words and make it a drabble.
100 words, Laura?
That's
Have you done that? Do you do that all the time? Is that what all the shorts were? Were they 100 words?
That's what 50 of these are.
Oh my gosh, I don't know if I can do that. I'm going to try.
Most of my published works are drabbles.
100 words? Okay. I'm going to try. You probably in 100 words would not repeat the whole prompt, would you? No, you would just write the story. Okay, I know what I need to do.
We want more than 100 words from you, Barrett. Expand. Just go under 1,000.
Okay, I'm going to try it. Okay, good and chewy. They make me drool too. Okay, 40 minutes ticking off. Wind whips around the corners of the small cabin. Temperatures plummet outside. Too bad we must huddle for warmth and survival more than kindling sparks. Okay, and Not true, Katie. Not true. Not true. It was great. I'm sure the next one will be great too, because you rock. Okay. Pencils down.
Dang it. I just got to the scene.
Finish.
It'll take way too long.
Oh, okay. I surprised myself. I wrote a lot of words, but it didn't. It's not really a me story. Like, it doesn't sound like me as I'm rereading. And it might be a little much.
Yeah.
Yeah. We'll see. We'll see what the verdict be from the peeps. Okie dokes. So Tammy and JC snuck in. Hi, friends. Hi, friends. Welcome. Tammy, long time no see. JC, I talk to you often. So hey, friend. Hey, friend. And I'll look into our thing we were texting about when I'm not streaming and writing stories. Because you know I'm interested. Okay. So Laura wrote a story. I wrote a story. Someone else write a story they want to share? If so, please send it to Mediumulas. And yes, Deidre's got one in. Okay. I did say after dark, and that tells me everything I need to know. Laura, you're reading this one. No, I'm just kidding. If it's really steamy, I can yeah. Okay, yeah. See, that's mine. Mine is I tried something and I'm not sure I executed it. And I may have gotten more focused on anyway, we'll talk about it after I read it. But yeah, feel that, Katie. Like I had a plan. However, I did do something Katie did in the past and it was kind of fun. There's no dialogue. Yeah, I thought I would try like no dialogue. So there is no dialogue whatsoever, which again is not a me thing. So okay, enough. All right, so we have two stories. Okay, do you want to read Deidre or do you want to read Labyrinth? That's what I've got so far. Katie's probably
I'll take Labyrinth.
I'll take Labyrinth. Okay.
I know.
Because you know what Deidre's gonna do to you. Okay, no worries. So because I'm pretty sure Katie said she's written one, so she'll probably send it in.
And Joanne's writing one.
Thank you for the font being big. Oh, and Joanne's writing one. Okay, good. Okay, perfect. Well, then can I send you mine on IG as well? Or is there not enough time? No, IG's fine. That's totally good. Okay, so should I read Deidre first and just start off with the heat and steam?
Or should we make Labyrinth go first again?
Oh yeah, do Labyrinth. Okay, do Labyrinth and then we'll read. Well, yeah, okay. It's time.
All right, Labyrinth. Here we go. Fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. I muttered silently to myself. The wind whistled through the corners of the shabby cabin as the temperatures plummeted outside. We have only 40 hours of food and very little kindling. The weather is deteriorating rapidly, so we can't go outside yet. When the kindling runs out, we need to depend on one another for warmth. His clumsiness is already a problem, and it will be even worse when he can't see in the dark. 20 minutes ago, the electricity decided to take a break for the winter. So, to keep calm and stay warm, we sat close together on the floor in front of the fire. Up until this point, the experience had been rather enjoyable. Actually, he's not such a dimwit, I began thinking. It was short-lived, like the dying embers of kindling. We frantically searched for anything that we could set on fire to maintain the flames. I was taken aback when I discovered that he had taken the file I had been working on. I'll be in trouble when I have to give the "fire ate my work" speech if we survive, instead of making up the excuse that my dog devoured my homework. Either way, I'm probably fired anyway. since they didn't even want me to leave town for the weekend. Not long afterwards, we accidentally found a small liquor cabinet that was previously unknown to us, filled with everything imaginable. We had a fire starter. We could still find a cozy place if we locate something other than my files to burn. Until we could get out of there. During the post-weather check, rescue workers found one small mistake that we made. We had a glass or two. At least, I thought it was just two. What I hadn't realized in losing track of time was 2 bottles, a bare rug for a cover, and a hickey later. We had a separate fire happening when the rescuer arrived. We rushed to collect our things, dressing with lightning speed like a roadrunner on steroids. We never spoke about that night when the lights went out on the Rockies.
Oh, I like it. Labyrinth, you stretched. I like it. That gave me funnies, but also like some badang happened. I think off cam, off page, off book, as they say. Okay, so buckle up, buttercups. Deidre's coming in hot.
Oh.
And by hot, I mean get out your deodorant and a towel, kids. Okay. The cabin groans under the weight of the fallen tree, pinning us in the living room and blocking the entrance to Jax's fireplace and all things dry. Wind shrieks outside, rattling the windows as snow blankets the world in white. Jax pulls me tighter against his chest, his arms like steel bands around my body. Our wet clothes stick together, icy and unpleasant, but the heat radiating from his skin is far more noticeable. "You need to get out of these clothes," he murmurs in my ear, before hypothermia sets in. I shiver, though not from the cold. We only just met a few hours ago when I came up here to interview him, and now he wants us to get naked together? "I'm not stripping for you," I say. "This isn't about that." His breath feathers over my neck, sending tingles down my spine. Our clothes are soaked through. If we don't get dry and warm soon, we'll both be in real trouble. He's right. Damn him. As a reporter, I've been in dicey situations before, but never quite like this. I traveled up to his remote ranch to get the scoop on Jack Fitzwilliam, former whistleblower, but I got more than I bargained for. A lot more. Sighing, I nod. Turn around. Nothing I haven't seen before, darling. His lips curve against my skin. I elbow him in the gut, not gently. Turn around. He grunts, but does as he's told. As he faces the wall, I peel off my clothes with shaking fingers, dropping them in a sodden pile on the floor. My skin prickles in the chilly air, and I fold my arms over my chest, suddenly self-conscious enough, though he can't see me. "Your turn," I say, my voice wavering only slightly. Jax turns, and my breath catches at the sight of him. All hard muscle and tanned skin, a dusting of dark hair on his chest trailing down to... I jerk my gaze up to his face, but it's too late. The image of his thick, hard cock is seared into my mind and will fuel many of my late-night fantasies. I'm sure. A sly smile plays on his lips and heat floods my cheeks. The insufferable bastard knew exactly what he was doing. This is turning into one interview I'll never forget. Jack strides toward me, and I back up until I hit the wall. He braces his hands on either side of my head, caging me in. "You're shaking," he murmurs, his breath fanning my face. "I'm cold," I lie, but he sees right through me. "Is that all?" His lips brush my jaw, and I tremble. "I can warm you up, darling, in more ways than one." I reach for his chest and push him away, but somehow my hands curl into his hair instead. He groans against my neck, and I gasp at the sensation. "We shouldn't," I try weakly. "Probably not." His hands slide down to cup my ass, and he lifts me, pinning me to the wall. But I'm going to anyway. Then his mouth is on mine, hot and demanding, and I melt into him. Our tongues dance in a rhythm, and a throb starts between my legs. He hitches one of my legs around his hip, and the length of his cock pulses against me. I rock my hips with a moan, craving the friction we both so desperately need. Jack tears his mouth from mine, his eyes dark. "You keep doing that," This will be over before it starts. Then get on with it, I growl, shocking myself with my own boldness. A slow smile spreads across his face. Your wish is my command, darling. You on the pill? I nod, biting my bottom lip as he studies me. That's his undoing. In one swift move, he lifts and impales me on his cock. I cry out at the sudden intrusion, the pain and pleasure mingling into one. We stay there for a long moment, frozen in time, savoring the feeling of being joined so intimately. Then he starts to move, and all thoughts flee my mind. There's only sensation, the drag and pull of his sweet cock inside me, the scratch of his stubble on my neck, his harsh breaths in my ear, the coil of heat in my belly winding tighter and tighter until I shatter around him with a shout, and he follows soon after, spilling inside me. We sink to the floor in a tangle of limbs, and I rest my head on his chest, utterly spent. He strokes my hair, his heart thundering against my cheek. Still cold? His voice rumbles under my ear. I huff out a laugh. Not even a little. Well, I would have paid a $50 Ko-fi to Laura to read that. Ooh, we got some spice. Okay. Oh, Katie sent us one. Yay. Okay. Yay. So let's see. Do I owe you a story, Laura, to read then? Or am I reading this one?
I read Labyrinths, you read Deidre's, so I can read another one.
And then I'll read, and then I'll send you Katie's, right? You'll do the last one?
Well, then you can do Joanne's.
Okay. It's spicy. I'm forwarding it.
All right. So I'm reading mine right now?
Well, I guess, or Katie's. I just sent you Katie's, so you can read Katie's. Laura wasn't even reading, and she was read. Deidre, that was some hot stuff. Like, yeah. Lady bits aren't even my scene, but wow. Yay, okay. Give me more. I know, right?
All right, here comes Katie's.
Yeah, 1,000. I haven't said cock that many times in years. No comment. He was just in the other room, so I could hear him saying something, and I was like, I don't want to hear it. Okay. It's a family show. After dark.
There you go.
It's a really weird family. Okay, go ahead.
Okay, here's Katie's. The seaside cottage is one of the nicer ones, and because of the off-season, way cheaper than it should have been. It should have any right being. There are 2 rooms in the back, but there is only a need for the one with the queen-size bed. The front room is most of the cottage, decorated with a coastal aesthetic, predictably gray and cream and pale blue. Alex's favorite feature is the fireplace and the large, fluffy navy rug in front of it that is so soft, even beneath his socked feet. Alex plops down on the leather couch and stretches out on it. Oh, this is cozy, he says, staring up at the white beams that make up the ceiling. It is, Nicholas says from somewhere behind him, either in the kitchen, or setting up at the small dining table. We should go swimming tonight, Alex says, linking his arms behind his head. You do realize it is 35 degrees outside, right? And it's only that warm because the sun is out. Nicholas's dry drawl is a no without saying it explicitly. Alex decides to ignore the subtext. Yeah, but we always skinny dip in college. And since it's frozen, this is our opportunity. Nicholas appears above him, frowning and upside down. It's frozen, Perry. For a reason. Alex smiles sweetly up at him. People do the polar plunge. Plus, what better way to warm up after than to be in front of the fire? Alex watches Nicholas's gaze darken. He is tempted, Alex could tell. So Alex plays dirty and arches his back, wiggling his hips and letting his stomach flex. Nicholas's eyes drift down his stretched body. It would be fun. It's a full moon. Nicholas's fingers land on his elbows, drifting across his biceps. Or we could just do that now. His voice is low and gravelly. It sends a shiver down Alex's spine and sends a spike of heat coiling in Alex's stomach. It is almost enough to make him give in. No, you have work to do. Later, after we swim. It'll be good for your mind. Alex thinks he's heard that somewhere, but he can't remember where. Especially with Nicholas's fingertips lightly ghosting along his skin, making him prickle with goosebumps. If I die of hypothermia, Nicholas says, almost in warning. Alex wriggles his hips again, and Nicholas's tongue darts out to wet his lips. You won't. You have me. Nicholas makes a soft sound in the back of his throat. You're insane, he says, dipping down, and then he's kissing Alex, even though the angle is a little awkward. Still, Alex leans into it, gasping as Nicholas's tongue makes quick work across his lips, brushing against his tongue. Far too soon, Nicholas pulls away, smirking down at him. I have to work, as you said, he said as Alex whines, high in his throat. That you do, Alex says sadly, closing his eyes and slumping back against the couch. Later, after dinner, they sit on the couch with the fire blazing. Luckily, it's been replaced with a gas fireplace, so it isn't difficult to light and maintain. It's almost too warm in the small cottage, but it's better than that it's too hot now than not hot enough later. Alex gets up off the couch, looking out the window at the moon-bleached sand and rippling waves. The water has calmed significantly since their last trip to the beach. You sure you want to do this? Nicholas asks. Alex glances over his shoulder. Yes, it'll be refreshing. He moves in front of Nicholas, digging his toes into the soft rug. Think of how nice it'll be to warm up together. Nicholas shakes his head, but it's not a verbal no. We could be warm together right now. If you really don't want to, we don't have to, Alex says, although he can't stop his pout. We can't stay in for very long. Plus, I don't feel like being arrested for public indecency. Nicholas does have a fair point there. But Alex has already checked, and no one was in the cottages around them. They wouldn't be out long enough, and their section of the beach was secluded from the main road and boardwalk. It was their own private oasis, a hideaway, as if they were the last two people on Earth. No one else is around. It'll be exhilarating and sexy, Alex says, taking Nicholas's hand and tugging on him to get him off the couch. There is nothing more of a boner killer than cold water, Nicholas says, but he lets Alex pull him into a standing position. Then I'll just have to keep you warm then, Alex murmurs, stepping closer and cupping Nicholas through his jeans. He squeezes just enough that Nicholas's breath catches. The sooner we go, the sooner we get back, and the sooner we make love on this rug. Nicholas bites his lip, and Alex can tell he's holding back a whimper. So he tightens his grip and shifts his palm, hoping to draw out that whimper. If you keep touching me like this, I'll take you on this rug right now, Nicholas hisses out through his teeth, and Alex leans up to peck his lips with a tiny kiss. Come on then, he says, letting go, and finally the whimper slips past Nicholas's teeth, caught in his throat as both a noise of want and frustration. He grabs his coat off the stand by the door and slides it over his shoulders. It'll be nice to have after being in the water. He already laid out 2 beach towels on the hall tree, so he snatches them up. Fuck, Nicholas mutters, and Alex grins at him over his shoulder as he steps outside. It's colder than he anticipated, but he can't back down now. So he jumps down the steps and onto the sand-covered boards that lead down to the short walk to the actual rolling Nicholas dunes. Alexander Perry! He pauses and turns around. Nicholas is down the stairs and racing after him, coat flying behind him. You're insane, he says again as he almost crashes into Alex. Alex laughs, curls his arm around Nicholas's waist, and keeps them linked together. You love it, Alex says, and Nicholas grumbles something close to his ear, more of a growl than words. The moon is full and high in the sky, splitting the waves into pitch and froth silver. The sand is crisp beneath his feet, the air salty and sharp as in Alex's nose. With Alex so close, their hips bump, and Alex can't help but laugh. It gets caught in a gust of wind and carries. Shh, Alex says, but Alex can hear the barely concealed laugh in his voice. You're so loud. You love it, Alex says, louder than he would have normally. Nicholas pinches his hip and he squeaks. It's brief, but it's just enough to catch him off guard. They're stumbling like they're drunk, even though neither of them have had a single drop. It's just like when we were kids, Alex says, as he finally detaches from Nicholas's side and snaps out one of the towels. It flutters before slowly landing on the sand. Nicholas takes his and lays it out next to Alex. I wish it was summer. Then we could make love right here on the sand. Alex blinks. Really? I thought you weren't into public sex. He slips his boots off and steps onto the towel. This is secluded. Nicholas steps onto his, and they're inches from each other. Alex reaches out and slips Nicholas's scarf free. He lets it flutter to the ground. I'm glad we're here together, he says, as he strips his coat off. The chill sinks into his sweater immediately, but it's refreshing. It's like it makes his senses sharper, his skin tingling, and his stomach bubbling with butterflies. I'm glad I don't have to light a candle and wait for you to sneak out, Nicholas says, and Alex laughs. I can definitely light candles for us. Maybe I should have brought some down here. Nicholas shakes his head. No, only the moonlight and I get to see you like this. Alex shudders, the light helium feeling in his chest expanding. He suddenly feels more vulnerable than before, especially as Nicholas moves into his space and slips his sweatpants down from his hips, dropping to a knee as he does. The air is cold on his bare legs, but then Nicholas's warm hands are caressing his thighs, his calves, his ankles. He nuzzles into Alex's stomach, his breath warm against him, and despite the cold, Alex's cock aches half-hard in his boxers. Nicholas, Alex breathes, sliding his hands into Nicholas's hair. Nicholas leans back, his hands vanishing to shrug off his coat, and then his sweater. The light isn't nearly as good as indoors, or in any form of sunlight, but Alex still knows from his expression that he's turned on. Let's go, Alex says as Nicholas gets to his feet. He peels off his sweater, and the cold wraps around him now. Part of him is tempted to grab their clothes and drag Nicholas back into the cottage, but he needs to feel the cold water on him, be cleansed by it. Nicholas hastily shoves his jeans off, still buttoned and mostly zipped. In the summer, they are usually slower, languid in the heat, enjoying making out and touching until one begs the other to end their pleasant torture. Now, in the cold, late winter air, there's a frantic energy in the air, sparking like lightning. They're like desperate teenagers, and as Alex finally pushes down his underwear, he feels like he's been liberated by the cold caressing every inch of his naked body. Alex is laughing as he races down the frozen sand, and the first wave crashes over his toes. It's icy as expected, but he still swears as it shocks his system. This is so stupid, Nicholas says somewhere behind him. Alex laughs again, stumbling into the sea and enjoying the full-body shivers that rack through his body. He gasps, unable to breathe as he moves deeper into the water until it's almost at his hips. Shit, how much farther? Nicholas yells, and Alex turns back, the waves lapping up over his hips now. He has his arms wrapped around himself, and he can only laugh again. The cold usually makes him numb, but now he feels everything. Nicholas is close, and finally they're backed up enough that the water is solidly to their waists, a little less on Nicholas since he's taller. Alex throws his arms around Nicholas and pulls him closer. They sway in the water, and Alex worries for a moment that they'll topple over, the sand cold and rippling between their toes. This is amazing, he says, breathless as he holds onto Nicholas. Nicholas's hands are cold now as they land on his back, jolting him almost out of his skin. It's so cold, Nicholas says through chattering teeth. The moon glows around them, the world awash in this cold, unfeeling tones. And yet, when Alex looks at Nicholas, he feels everything. Thank you, Alex says, still breathless, and Nicholas doesn't respond. But he does kiss him, briefly, because his lips are trembling. As much as Alex wants to revel in this feeling, in this wild night of absolute stupidity, he knows they have to get out of the water sooner rather than later. And yet, standing in their freezing water, clinging to each other, it's deeply intimate. This is both terrible and amazing, Nicholas whispers, his eyes so wide and burnished with silver from the moon. Alex wishes he could take a picture. Let's go have sex by the fire, Alex says, the thrill of the icy water dip quickly waning. Nicholas nods. I thought you'd never say. Come on. They stumble out of the water, and it's even worse in the open air. A cut of the wind has Alex shaking so hard he can't even put his socks back on. Forget the clothes, Nicholas says, putting his jacket around Alex's shoulders. It's a flimsy bit of protection, but it's the sentiment that makes Alex's stomach curl with sweet affection. They run back to the cottage with their clothes in beach towel bundles. The house is so perfectly warm that the minute Alex gets inside, he almost cries in relief. Nicholas slams the door shut and drops the beach towel next to the coat rack. Alex stumbles back onto the rug, dripping and freezing. The fire washes over the back of him, tingling from the shock of cold to hot. Nicholas tosses him a fresh towel, and it smacks him in the chest. Alex barely gets his frozen fingers around it before it falls to the floor. "Come here. You're better than this," he says, his teeth chattering. Nicholas strides across the room, and Alex immediately wraps his arms around him, drawing their bodies together. They're both cold and wet, slick from the water, and smelling of salt. Alex wraps his arms around Nicholas's neck, kissing him. Nicholas's hands are rough and cold against his back, rubbing up and down. Then his mouth is moving, breath hot against his neck and earlobe. "We have to dry off," Nicholas whispers in his ear. "I don't want you to stop touching me," Alex gasps out. "I don't want you to be cold," Nicholas says, peeling Alex off of him and taking the towel. He rubs at Alex's chest, then stomach. "If you touched me, I wouldn't be cold," Alex says with a smile. The end. You're muted.
That was good.
Yeah.
I love that. I gave 10 points because you had to say "cop." So 10 points out the gate. No, I loved it. I loved it.
So good.
I have mercy, woman.
Exactly.
Katie Ann. I know, that was good. That was a lot of build. Katie gets so much story out in 40 minutes. Like, that's...
I know!
Like, I think I got 800 words, and I was like, oh, yeah, I got a good long... You know what I mean? Like, I was feeling like I got something done. And then they read Katie Ann's, and I'm like, oh.
Yeah, I got a whopping 859.
I know. I'm like, I'm just starting. It felt like a fever dream. It was a fever dream. Loved it. Yes. Finished the story. Share. I loved it. To guess an award. No, it did. It was good. Yeah. No, it made great sense. And I liked the oh, you sent yours. Good. I'll read it. I like the sand. Or wait, no. Do you want me to send? Do you have one more to read, Laura?
Mine.
Oh, yeah. Okay. So I'll read Joanne's. We'll read yours, and then I'll read mine. Anyway, I liked the sand. I liked the dichotomy of like the cold and then warming up. It was good. And it was like it was like a tease, you know? Because I was like, yeah, it was a tease. We don't need to talk about boners in cold water, but that was what I was thinking about the whole time. It's like, woo, there's a lot going on in that story. Okay. Yes, I've got it, Joanne. Okay, let me get to the top. Are you ready?
Boom, ready.
Leaves rattled in the wind as Darcy's attention turned to the windows leading outside. She shivered, glad Aiden had started on a fire to keep them warm. You okay, Collins? Darcy's attention drifted to him, trying to keep her face neutral as she took in his appearance. Her eyes drifted to the beautiful ink on his arms. Tattoos looked so good on him. Really good on him. Something catch your eye, Collins? Aiden said. His deep voice drifted across the room as he walked over to her side. A smirk formed on his face. You're staring, you know. Darcy looked away. Well, can you blame me? She frowned, cursing the shakiness in her voice. His deep brown complexion combined with the beautiful black ink gracing his arms was a recipe for disaster. But it was a lovely one. A dangerous one. She knew better than to get involved with him. He was her friend's brother. Well, her friend's ex-best friend's brother. Wow, that was a mouthful. Something on your mind, Dar? Darcy shivered. The way he said her name, it was too much to bear. Too much to resist. Don't, she started to say, but the words caught in her throat as he gazed at her with those big brown eyes. Don't say my name like that, she managed to finish. Like what? Aiden said, tilting his head. You know what? I don't, Aiden said, through a sly smile, betraying the poker face he tries to keep. So I'd appreciate it if you were more transparent with me. He stroked his chin. You know, I never took you for liking the miscommunication trope. Darcy crossed her arms over her chest. I don't. So why don't you tell me what's going on?
Aiden said, cupping her cheek with his hand. I promise I won't make fun of you. You know damn well the effect you have on me. You know damn well I like you, Aiden. Well, I damn like you too. Question is, what are you going to do about it? By this time, Darcy's back is against the cabin's wall. What are you going to do about it? Well, I don't know about you, but I love when a woman takes charge. Darcy raised an eyebrow, the heat of his gaze causing her cheeks to flush. Is that your way of saying you want me to kiss you? What do you think, Dar? Well, I'd like a clear answer. If you don't want this, we can easily forget this moment ever happened. Yes, Dar, I want you to kiss me, Aiden replies with a warm smile that makes Darcy's heart thump. With his permission, she cupped the back of his neck. Aiden put his arms around her waist, pulling them closer, as he smiled against her lips. And that's what I got. Lemons! Aiden is shy, right? I liked it. I liked the switch up of, like, you know, him asking her to take the lead.
Mm-hmm.
Love that, Joanne. Thank you. That was good. All right, Laura. Hit us with your best shot.
Is it my best? I don't know.
I don't know, with a shot. Not in the eye, that burns.
All right, here we go. Wind whips around the corners of the small abandoned cabin we are huddled in. Me and Rebecca, who had stupidly decided to go snowshoeing for the first time while there was a possibility of a blizzard. But I still crush on her so hard. Every strand of her dancing hair, every sunshine smile, and every late-night giggle we had as children at all-girls sleepovers. This time, I wished my spun bottle had pointed at her rosy cheeks. Oh, the times I wished my spun bottle had pointed at her rosy cheeks. Do you think we can get a fire going? She chatters through her teeth. While the wooden walls are thick and the window intact, there is no heater to thaw us out. Make our fingers unclench from fists in our pockets, or bring feeling back to our toes. Shivering, I turn my head. Sunlight filters through the flying snowflakes outside, filling the one-room cabin with the window enough to see by. Through the window enough to see by. There, against a wall, is a dilapidated bookcase, perfect for breaking apart for kindling in the fireplace. I'll work on the wood. Look for matches, I tell her. My knees creak as I rise from my huddled position and inspect the half-broken bookcase. My numb fingers can't get a good grip on the shelves to pull them out for firewood. I want to cry, but my tears freeze at the corners of my eyes. I rub them away, like grit from the sleep of despair. Ah! Cries out Rebecca, holding out a small box of matches in her mittened hand. Got 'em! Too cold to break it, I pant out into the freezing air, breath misting even though we are indoors. Let me warm your hands, Rebecca says, sitting next to the dormant fireplace. With a chattering huff, I join her, hip to hip. She reaches out shakily and pulls my hands towards her, slides my own gloves off, and pushes my naked hands up into her own mittens with her own hands. The wool weave stretches to allow 2 pairs of hands inside, but there's enough give. Her hands are colder than I've ever felt, even more frozen than after eating multiple ice cream cones that one cold fall after we carved swear words into our pumpkins, giggling like maniacal misfits. Her skin is dry and slightly chapped as I slide my fingers along hers to generate warmth and friction. I don't think it's going to be enough, she says after a minute. Zoe, I think we need to share more body heat. My sluggish heartbeat cranks up a notch, pulsating through the thin skin on my wrist. I'm sure she can feel it, can guess what she's doing to me with those words. Yeah? Rebecca looks me in the eyes with her beautiful blues, skin to skin. Oh yeah, my heart's definitely racing now. Are you sure? I whisper in a plume of mist. It might be the only thing between us in a few seconds. Did she really want to cross that barrier with me? The childhood friend who messed up and was kicked out of college? I'm sure, she says, looking up at me through her devastatingly long lashes. Oh, okay, I say. Keep it together, Zoe. Let her take the lead. She doesn't like you like that. This is for survival only. Rebecca stands up. I'll put my jacket on the floor. We can use the rest of her clothes as a blanket pile. Oh God, I'm going to see her naked for the first time since we were kids. And she is going to see me, all of me, every curve and bulge I keep carefully hidden in baggy clothing. It's too cold for a striptease, even if I was confident enough to do such a thing. In a minute, we are both exposed. Zippers, buttons, and clasps all undone. Wood, wool, and fleece form a small mountain on the wooden floorboards. Our teeth chatter so hard the sound fills the whole cabin. Despite being half frozen to death, I steal glances at Rebecca's perfectly supple form. Enough padding in all the right places to hold on to, and long blonde hair perfect for pulling. Snap out of it! In a flash, the jacket is laid out and Rebecca is laid out upon it, hand extended to me, in invitation. She's inviting me to her bed. Don't read into it like that, Zoe. Hurry, before my nipples freeze off, she says, breaking me from the freezing and beautiful view. I lay down beside her, careful to not touch her yet, not without explicit permission. She leans back and pulls the pile of clothes over the both of us, insulating us from the worst of it. Cold radiates from my body, despite my heart trying its damnedest to prep me for the romp of a lifetime. You know, Rebecca says, skin to skin means skin has to touch skin. I swallow hard, then look into the depths of her light blue eyes. Her lips part. It's okay. I like you too, Zoe. Fingertips glide up my stomach to cup up my left breast. Heat sizzles at her touch, my skin burning ice. And that's all I got!
Okay, lips are gliding all right. That was going to get hot. I liked it. I wanted them to skin. That was good. That was really good. I loved it.
Thanks.
Okay. Oh, is it me?
Mm-hmm.
All right. No dialogue. So we'll see how this worked. Okay. The wind howled outside, its icy fingers clawing at the corners of the small cabin. Temperatures plummeted, turning the world into a frozen wasteland. Inside, a couple huddled together for warmth and survival, their breath visible in the frigid air. Byron and David had sought refuge in this remote cabin, hoping to escape the harsh realities of the crumbling world outside. With each passing day, the cold seemed to seep deeper into their bones, testing their resilience. As the fire crackled in the hearth, Byron and David sat close, their bodies pressed together, for warmth, at first. The flickering flames cast a warm glow on their faces, illuminating their determined expressions. They knew they had to make the most of the limited resources they had. The next breath could be their last. David carefully placed a few more logs onto the fire, coaxing it to burn brighter. The sparks danced in the air, mirroring the flicker of hope in Byron's eyes. Despite the harsh conditions, they found solace in each other's presence. In the midst of their struggle for survival, they discovered a deeper connection than the friendship they had nurtured since childhood. There was comfort in the simple act of holding hands, their fingers intertwined like a lifeline. Their conversations were filled with dreams of warmer days and brighter futures, a testament to their unwavering belief in each other and their uncanny ability to ignore reality. As the days turned into weeks, and weeks into months, their bond grew stronger and their desire unmeasurable. They learned to find joy in the smallest of things, a shared meal, a gentle touch, a whispered promise. The cabin became a sanctuary, a place where their devotion could flourish amidst the desolation. One stormy night, as the wind howled with even greater fury, Byron and David found themselves facing their greatest challenge yet. The firewood was running low, and the bitter cold threatened to extinguish the flame that had kept them alive. Desperation settled in, but they refused to give up. With a determined glint in his eyes, David ventured out into the storm, braving the biting cold to gather more firewood. Byron watched him disappear into the darkness, his eyes filled with fear and a gnawing sense of hope. He knew that their survival depended on his success. Hours passed, and Byron's worry grew with each passing minute. Just as he was about to lose hope, the sound of footsteps crunching in the snow signaled someone, or something was coming. This could be it. He wrapped his hand around the shovel, leaned up against the door, ready to go down with a hell of a fight. David burst through the door, his face flushed and his arms laden with firewood. Relief washed over Byron, and he rushed to his side, wrapping his arms around him. Together they revived the dying fire, breathing life into their sanctuary. As warmth enveloped them, they knew that they had overcome yet another obstacle. The wind may have whipped around the corners of their small cabin, and the temperatures may have plummeted outside, but their love burned brighter than ever. That's what this is, love. And as that realization washed over them, they gave into the desire that had been building for months. The air crackled with anticipation as they moved closer, their bodies drawn together as if by an invisible force. Slowly, their lips met in a gentle, tentative kiss. Time seemed to stand still as their mouths moved in perfect harmony, their lips molding together in a dance of passion. The world around them faded away, leaving only the two of them in their own private universe. David's hands found their way to Byron's waist, pulling him closer, deepening the kiss. He melted into his touch, his body responding to David's every move. Every touch, every caress sent shivers down their spines, electrifying their connection. David's fingers traced the curve of Byron's cheek, tangled in his hair, pulling him closer, wanting more, needing more. Their bodies pressed against each other, the heat between them intensifying with every passing second. They were lost in the moment, consumed by the fire that burned within them. Time ceased to exist as they surrendered to the intoxicating pleasure of the moment. As their bodies finally parted and they were spent, they were left breathless, their hearts pounding in their chests, their eyes locked, a silent understanding passing between them. In that moment, they knew that this was just the beginning of their story, and it would transcend time, however much they had left. And so they laid bare their bodies still entwined, naked on the floor in front of the dwindling fire, their souls forever connected. The world around them may have faded away, but they found a love that would ignite their souls and set their hearts ablaze. Done. And there was no on the page sexy.
Yeah.
Or talking, which is how I like my sexy. I'm just kidding. That was just because it was after dark. Oh, hey, Sako. Hey, Fran. Welcome. Okay, that was fun. That was a fun little challenge.
Yeah.
So is that sweet romance? I guess so. Even though they were supposed to have sexy time? Does that count as sweet? I don't know. I don't know enough. Oh, they're saying the word sweet, so I guess so. Oh, that was sweet. Thank you. Maybe I need to side hustle. Mama needs some money. Thank you. Okay. That was good. That was fun. I liked those prompts, Laura.
Thanks.
Laura wrote, did you write both of those in the 4 minutes before we went live?
Yeah.
That's insane. Insanely talented, Laura Nettles. Okay. This was so much fun. I've missed you guys.
Me too.
Wicked talented people. Okay, so we are coming back. We're back.
Are they wicked talented or wicked and talented?
Well, wicked and talent all together, I think.
Uh-huh.
So, yeah. Joanne dropped the link for PSNS art, commissioned character art, so check that out on Ko-fi. Folks, if you have links for books and things, drop them. Plug yourself.
Barrett, you only need 8 more subs to hit 1,000?
What? When did that happen?
So Deidre says.
That's not true. That's not possible. When did that happen? That's not right. I don't think that's right. Is that right? That can't be right. No, I think that's wrong. Okay, but I appreciate it.
No, you need 49.
Yeah. I was like, we need some math, y'all. Yeah, 48. Okay. Okay. I was like, yeah, that cannot be right. Because I lost a bunch with the last video. So anyways, but okay, doesn't matter. All right. So here's the plan. Heretofore, we're going to do first and third Friday of the month And that is the plan. So we'll be off next week, but we will be back. We're writers, not mathematicians. That energy, all of it. Favorite line of all time. Okay, so here's what we're going to do. The 1st and 3rd of the month, so we're going to be off next week and then back the following Friday, and then the 3rd. We would love for folks to join us. So if you want to join, hit us up on the Insta. If you want to be a guest host, we've had Katie in the past. I think Deidre's been on with us. JC was on with us. Nia. We've had some friends come on with us. So if you want to join, let us know. We'll shoot you a link. You can be a guest host, and maybe you'll get 10 points for reading the word cock. I've missed you all terribly. This was so much fun. Love everyone's stories. Thank you for closing the door while you vacuumed.
I couldn't hear the vacuum.
Because he closed the door. God bless him. Yes. Well, you got the 10 points for your COCK. So, but I love you all. Please come back with us the 1st and 3rd of every month. Laura, tell the folks about yourself. What you got going on? You got Tiny Shivers. We've got Samantha's got some. Are you on 5th story or 4?
I am halfway through the 5th.
So the 5th will be coming. Okay, so plug all the things, Laura. Tell everybody about how amazing you are.
I have a horror collection of short stuff called Tiny Shivers that is out under my real name, Laura Nettles. I have 4 short contemporary romances under my pen name, Samantha R. Silverstone. They are from the first prompted thing that ever happened with the cafe prompt, and that spun a whole series. So yeah.
So we poisoned her mind.
They did. So those ones are 6,500 words each. But yeah. Oh my gosh, Katie!
For the play. Phil won't be the only one
5th.
coming to the story. Oh, 5th. I can't even read. Okay. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Oh, that was good.
I stream every other Thursday, so I just streamed yesterday. So I'll be back in 2 weeks.
Sweet. Okay, 2 weeks you'll be back. Let's see. What do I have coming up? Tomorrow with Margaret, maybe AuthorTube karaoke. Sunday is Writer's Room over on Tiff's channel. We're doing a piece for Esther. It's so good. The piece is great. So if you're loving romance, Esther is my romance gal. So check that out. And then, wait, what is that?
You have a Mac.
I do have a Mac. What just happened?
If you do a thumbs up, it'll do a thumbs up reaction.
You're kidding me. Seriously? Wait, okay, I guess I don't know, whatever. Okay. Anyway, love you guys. You're amazing. Come join us. Let's see. Oh, I have a vlog coming out. So if you're watching Macron's vlogs, that's coming. There will be some shorts, but again, those are going to be vlog related. See you every other Friday here with my very favorite Laura. You all are amazing and wonderful. If you have anything to plug, drop it in the chat. I will put it in the description box after the stream. Love you all. You're amazing. And we will see you in 2 weeks. Bye.